Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. In our first story, the Ministry of Aviation says it will soon roll out the Youth in Aviation program to create more jobs. Here's a report by my colleague Sheila Tamaklo.
According to the International Air Transport Association, IATA, staff numbers in the aviation industry are set to soar in both the short and the long term, driven by a strong increase in air passenger numbers. While more job opportunities become available in the growing aviation industry, availability of individuals with the right skills levels and qualifications remains a challenge. Speaking at the 3rd General Assembly of African Aviation Training Organizations, the Minister for Aviation, Joseph Kofiada, said Ghana is taking steps to address this challenge with the setup of the Youth in Aviation program, among others.
The Minister of Aviation is under a directive of His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to create jobs for the youth and to develop business out of that as well, by drafting 2 major policy documents for consideration by government, which will come out soon for stakeholder contributions. The first one is what we would call Youth Innovation Program, and the second being an Aviation Sector Human Resource Support Fund, which will be a revolving pool of funds that can be utilized by the youth, for instance, to train to become pilots or take up other jobs that are high in demand.
The 3rd General Assembly of African Aviation Training Organizations saw the gathering of aviation training organizations on the continent and stakeholders in the aviation space to deliberate on improving competency of aviation professionals on the continent. Daimu Sami is the president of the African Aviation Training Organization.
There's a huge outflux of retirees, people leaving the industry. What are we doing to keep and to harness all of that knowledge base? And basically, when they exit in the industry, is there a knowledge management process to harness these expertise, the knowledge, and so forth and so on? So with this roadmap, it's going to enable ATOs to come together, to collaborate together, to basically share resources to ensure that the future generation of future aviators is going to be well positioned in terms of the new job roles that's emerging.
Director for the Ghana Civil Aviation Training Academy also noted efforts were being made to link the industry to academia to help address the skills challenge.
We feel that there's also the need to bridge the gap between the academia and the industry. Because as you speak now, the academia, the industry, the stakeholders and aviation, we are all doing different things. So there's a need to bridge that gap. So at least the industry will give us what they need. So the pro-train organization will develop training to meet those needs. And also the youth also will be aware of what careers are here. So at least when they are choosing careers, they know that there are more than 500 careers in the aviation industry.
The 3rd General Assembly of the African Aviation Training Organizations is under the theme Human Capital Development and Technology, Strategic Tools Towards the Single African Air Transport Market. For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklo reporting.
The 2018 State of Ghana's Economy Report has been launched with a call on government to relook its tax exemption regime. Director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Korte, laments the huge tax exemptions for multinationals and large corporations will affect Ghana's macroeconomic outlook if not checked. There is more in this report.
The Institute of Statistical and Social Economic Research, ISA, in the State of Ghana's Economy Report, cited import tax exemptions as a major threat to domestic revenue mobilization. In 2018 alone, import exemptions increased to 33.6% of total revenue, making up to 4.2 billion cedis. Presenting excerpts of the State of the Ghanaian Economy Report for 2018, Director of ISA, Professor Peter Korte, warned that a trend of tax exemptions could paint a dark picture for Ghana's revenue mobilization in the coming years.
Our usual suspects, the tax exemptions, which I think we need to look at closely. And then there are also several challenges which negatively affect smooth usage of digital technologies as introduced.
Senior Research Fellow of ISA, Dr. Charles Aka, advocated a review of the various ambitious projects being embarked upon as Ghana's public debt soars and domestic revenue shrinks. He fears that most government projects are just a drain on public coffers.
How does government gain efficiency in spending? And I think it's time for us to have a national discussion about some of the government flagship programs. Given that we don't have the resources, we are missing all the revenue targets, we want to go beyond 8, and we are not able to raise enough tax revenue in this country. We need to discuss free SHS again. We need to discuss the issue of NAPCO, whether that is a sustainable way of creating jobs, and all the people we put there and we are paying them. We need to discuss some of the ministries that we have set up to see whether they still need to exist. What is the Ministry for Inner City and Zongo Development? Is it really relevant? What are they doing? We need to have a discussion about the Ministry of Evaluation. Ministry of Evaluation, what are they evaluating? We need to have a discussion about the Ministry for Regional Reorganization and all the amount of money we are spending there. We need to discuss about the Ministry of Development. What are they developing? Can Ministry of Trade do the work that they are doing? We need to have a discussion about the Ministry of Transport, Railways and Aviation. Do we need to have 3 different ministries, or can one ministry do aviation, transport and railways? And we need to talk about the Ministry of Special Development Initiatives and all the 3 development authorities that have been put there. So no, we need to have a discussion about controlling expenditure and gaining efficiency in our expenditure.
Meanwhile, the 2018 ISA State of the Nations report has also commended government's digitization agenda, saying it has improved port efficiency as well as deepened financial inclusion.
And that's it for business.